Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and today we solve Leetcode daily challenge problem number 661 image smoother. So we're going to look into the problem statement, then we'll move towards the approach which we have followed, and at the end we'll have the code to solve the question. So starting with the problem statement, it like at the very first go when I read this statement, it was a little confusing to me, and we will see what exactly that means and what we'll have to do to solve this one. So basically what they have asked is to create a image smoother. So what they're doing is like they have asked us to create kind of an algorithm to smooth all the cells in this matrix. And what we have to do is we have to basically, for example, we have to smooth 7. Okay, 7 in this cell. So they have asked us to take average of all the elements in the blue shaded cells and replace this element with uh, the average. Okay, so this is the ask. Now moving to the approach which we have followed, what we will be doing is this is the approach which we are gonna follow. So for this, if you see, we were considering 7, right? So we were considering 7. So let's say 7 is at i comma j. Okay, so now I have to take all these cells into consideration and take average of these, right? So this is exactly what we are going to do. And just a note for everyone, if you take care of this, like if we take care of index overflow issue while running the loops, I think this problem has nothing extraordinary to solve. So what we'll be doing is we'll be going to each element one by one. Sorry, okay. We'll be going to each element one by one, and we'll take all the cells who is sharing boundary with this. For example, this was the boundary for this cell, right? This one and this one. So we'll go and take all the elements who shares the boundary with this element and stays within the limit. What are the limits? These are the row ranges and column range. It should be like all the rows where we have I minus 1 till I plus 1. For example, if we talk about 7, 7 is in row number 2. Okay, I'm just talking general mathematics. Okay, so we have to consider 1, 2, 3. Okay, but this should be valid, like any of the numbers picked should be valid. We cannot have -1, or let's say the size of this matrix was 5 cross 5, right? We cannot have 6 over here. Okay, so this should be valid, and this will be the range of the overall cells which we have to consider. So for 7, what we will do, we are going to take all the elements, take the sum of it, and we'll also count the number of element which we are considering. For example, for this 7 we considered 9 elements, 3 3 3. Okay, so number of elements were 9. How do we calculate average? Sum upon number of elements. Also, if we go to the problem statement, they have stated that like we'll round off, so that's why we are using floor division. This is the sign for floor division. Okay, so if we do this, we'll eventually get the answer 7 over here as well. Okay, so moving to the coding part of it, there's a very simple code which I have written. What I'm doing over here is we are just calculating rows and columns. We're just initializing the values, I mean. So I just check the length of the array image. Okay, that will be the number of rows, and a number of elements in each of the sub array will be the number of columns. Okay, next I have defined an empty resultant array which I'll be returning at the end. Now as we discussed in the approach, we'll follow, like we'll just go through or iterate through each cell. So for that we have used two loops, row and column. Okay, now for each cell, what we are doing, we are initializing total sum and count, because average equals to sum upon count. And now as we discussed, like what we'll do, we'll take all the cells who is sharing the boundary which ranges from I minus 1 to your I plus 1, right? So similarly over here, what we are doing for x in range, maximum 0, like whatever the max. So this is for checking the validity, like if we are considering the valid values or not. Okay, row minus 1 or 0. So obviously, like row minus will, if for all the valid values, row minus 1 will be always maximum. Similarly, we are taking minimum of rows and row plus 2, whichever is minimum, we'll take that. Similarly, we are doing the same for columns as well, like just to be in the what valid indexes, we have these checks in place. And as soon as we get our x and y, we are gonna add that in total sum variable, and we'll increment the counter with 1. Okay, now when this is the part where we have to replace the actual value with the average of it. So for average, what we are doing total sum floor division count. Okay, so we replace the actual value with the average, and at the end we are just simply returning the results. So let's check out the test cases first. So as you can see, both the test cases got cleared. Let's submit it for further evaluation now. So as you can see, like the solution got accepted, and I think, yeah, like this was the easiest approach which I could have, which I was able to come up with. So yeah, thanks again guys for watching out the video. Stay tuned to the upcoming ones. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.